I don't have very many props, and I promise I'll use them. We have a little cushion because we're going to start there this morning sitting up for breathing. And then I have a very small towel that I'm going to help you use for head and neck positioning and placement for our sitting series this morning. So just see what you can find around your studio. And you know, I always use the small Pilates ball when we hit the supine series like pelvic curl, like chest lifts. So just check you've got something you could slip in between your legs for that adductor connection. Good, and again, you're just hearing from that. That gives you an insight into NPT culture, how we teach and train, just the fact that those props have been suggested at an intro to basic level. Here we go. I'll meet you sitting. Enjoy. Just going to do a quick sound check with Sarah. Except I can't see her. Sarah, just checking you can hear me. Fantastic. Here we go. So I've put the little cushion there. I don't really need it, but it's just to invite you to sit up on something, just because we're going to be here for a little bit of time. And one of the key things right now, you know, 175% compression comes through the spine when we sit. I know, shocking. But the shock of that, literally, is to remind yourself that the vertebra and the state of the spine, the way we're designed, is for shock absorption. So taking care that you don't sit for too long, but also taking care that you actually physically condition enough so that when you do sit, we can reduce the impact. So note to self, can you please sit up? Use your good strong hip flexors that ideally now are strong from practicing Pilates. Use your deep lower back muscles. So all of that posturally right now you'll need to use. And come with me for a little breathing moment. So placing your hands on your ribs, start very gently. I invite you to close your eyes. Nice, long, slow breath in with me. Really gentle. Hands are just there for feedback. Where can you feel the breath? Steady, long, slow exhale. Hand on chest, hand on bottom back ribs. Can you feel both areas moving? How generous can you be? Switch hands, one on chest, one on bottom back ribs. Thinking very 3D. You have a beautiful big rib cage. You want to use its full dimensions right now. Air coming right up underneath that top hand. Feel movement in your sternum. That first rib right underneath your collarbones. Might feel a little shrug on shoulders. Try not to restrict it. Exhale. You'd feel a collapse underneath both hands. Two hands, bottom back ribs. You'd feel a separating, a widening, then a softening, a collapsing. One more time back there. Back to side ribs. Eyes open. Count to 5. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Slow exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it, hold it, hold it. One more time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Did you feel the full rib cage? Does it feel like you filled the balloon? Slow exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Check you're sitting up as tall as you can. Check you haven't collapsed back in lower back and pelvis. Good. We're going to try and go to 6. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Should feel really restricted. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Going 7. One hand belly. Still. 1, 2, 3. Both hands should be moving. 5, 6, 7. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Well done. Have a little stretch. Soles of the feet together. Flip your fingertips over like a little spine stretch. And then in the pelvis, could you imprint? So as you squeeze your feet together, could you feel your 2 sit bones drawing together? Could you feel your tail pulling between your legs? Could you feel your lower back round? And you should be on the back side of your sit bones right now. Keep squeezing the feet together. Now try breathing here. So feel where the belly is at the minute. Feel where the abdominal wall is at the minute. Should feel pretty deep. Go gently as you breathe in. Is it possible not to push out with the abdominal wall? Is it possible just to feed the breath into the back, the lower back, the bottom back side ribs? You might not be able to count as far. The breath might not be as deep. Keep practicing. As you exhale, is it possible to get deeper? Is it possible to feel the abdominal wall drawing in, but also then posturally lifting you? So can you get a little taller in this position right now? So still round, but possibly not as far forward, and ideally not as much weight on your fingertips. So supporting yourself in this spinal flex position, really getting a sense of your own imprint, feeling the whole column of the spine and the relationship of head, neck to spine. So just make sure you haven't over collapsed where your middle upper back meets your neck, because that head's really heavy. Good. Stack back up. Sit with the other foot crossed. Hands on belly now. So continuing on from what you've just practiced. So we've shifted from full diaphragmatic breathing into posterolateral breathing in preparation for your Pilates class. So now you're going to try and let only the tummy move this way minimally. I'll show you. So you're breathing in, you feel a little feel right down here, but minimal. And then on your exhale, it's going to go. Can you hear the height? Pull it in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Just hold it. Is it possible for you to gently breathe into your back and feel minimal push forward into your fingertips? Then every time you exhale, can you get us a little deeper and a little taller? We're ready to pump again. One more. Hold. Keep it. Breathe in and out whenever you like. But the idea is when you breathe in, can you control it? So you're training that deep abdominal muscle, very famous, called transverse abdominis, TA. And you're learning what we should be feeling as we participate through the Pilates class. Good job. Let's do a little side bend. Let's tip over. Can you still feel the support through your abdominal wall? And let's side reach. Let's lift back up. Are you still conscious of what's happening in your lower pelvis? And sit up. Let's tip the other way. Feel it. Have you still got a sense of lift here? And as you side bend, opening up the top rib cage, coming back to the tilt and sitting tall. Really reach and span through your upper torso, strong arm. And reach a little further over this time. There won't be a side bend. Just tip and lift us back up. And just tip and lift us back up. Well done. Get rid of your cushion. Move to the front of your mat with me. Sit up as tall as you can. And right now, can you raise your chest towards the ceiling and actually look up? Roll back. I encourage you to grab hold underneath the legs at the minute so you can focus on the imprint. Can you feel the imprint? Try and keep the imprint as we travel forward. Now stack and climb from the very base of your spine. Sit up as tall as you can, but be careful you didn't blow out in the abs. So can you still taper through that lower abdominal wall, but really lift up, stretch and open your chest and feel your upper back. Return to the vertical, the upright. What does that feel like? Work in hip flexors and lower back. Don't be afraid of it. Imprint, roll back. Maximally imprint. Can you draw those sit bones together further? Can you deepen your abdominals more? Keep it as you curl over, rib cage over pelvis. And now really use those strong hands and arms, shoulders to get the work in the hip flexors, to get you right up on top of those sit bones and lift, lift, lift. One more. Exhale, feel the imprint. Sense what's happening in the pelvis and lower back. Let go. Just stay. 3 controlled breaths. Good. Now be careful head and neck posture. So no increased flexion up there. Just close through the hip. Increase the flexion of the hip. Grab hold of those legs. Watch you don't blow out in lower abdominals. Think zip. Up, up, up. Right on top of those sit bones. We're going all the way back to the floor. Let go. Imprint. Check head and neck posture. Control it. If you feel yourself falling, grab hold of the back of those legs. Laying down. I'm going to use my trusty tool between my legs. Good, we're about to do a little bit of adductor work, just as a prep. But we spend a tiny moment before we go in. This is the first time we've been in touch, lying supine. So what does that touch feel like? We call this printing. Soles of the feet, can you take the floor? Both pads of the feet. Pick all 10 toes up and then lay each toe back on the floor. Can you sense the tippy points of the toes? I know, long way away from the brain, huh? So send a message down there. That should feel really strong in your feet. You're actually going to have to use the muscles underneath the arch of your foot to keep the knuckles pressing down in the ball of your foot, to keep all those 10 toes actually connected to your mat. You're going to have to use your legs now. Can you feel that? So now the little tool between your thighs, don't over squeeze, but sense where it is, sense the holding, and also sense the energy now that that's created through the inner thigh of your leg. The leg is sucking and drawing back into your hip now. Feel wide across the back of your pelvis line. Now come right up to the head. Feel energy reaching out the tippy back point of the crown of your head. And feel a sense of length down your spinal column. Just spend a little minute with that. I know I need to. I feel a little caught up in my lower back and a little caught up across my sacrum and coccyx. So I'm going to spend a little minute trying to get a little longer. 3 weight spots should be back of head, middle upper back, sacrum. So can you feel the energy flowing through your back? Now check in with hands, arms, shoulders, collarbones, sternum. Oh, that was a lot, huh? So take your thoughts into your sternum. Take your attention there. Do you feel a rising energy up through your sternum, out through your 2 long collarbones, crossing over your shoulder to find your scapulas, your shoulder blades? Can you connect that area? Now you have 2 long arms, outstretched, elbows off the floor. Open palm of the hand, all the fingers long and connected to the ground. How do you do that without gripping your armpit? Without tightening your shoulder joint? Okay, you ready to imprint? Gently rock your pelvis back. So that's a little tuck action, like we practiced in your roll back. Be subtle. It's about the control. And then slowly ripple back to home base without disturbing the peace in your middle back, upper back, neck, head, shoulders, arms, hands, feet, legs. Gently rock. Take your time. Slower the better, because you can feel yourself as you move. Slowly return. Remember how we cued the movement to begin. We said, pull the 2 sit bones together. Draw the tail between your legs. Deepen your abdominals. Now just stay in the tuck. Stay in the slight posterior tilt. Check all the other body parts. Can you connect them without gripping? Good, we're going to take off. So we're going to raise the pelvis by rolling through the spine. Pelvis raises right up into the bridge position. We stay. Check in, hands, long outstretched arms. Wide collarbones. Shoulder blades spread to the edges of your trunk. Look along the line of your spine. Check in with the spine. Does it feel like all those joints are in line in your bridge position? Check in with the core. Does it feel deep and strong? Can you feel your tippy toes? And ideally your hamstrings. Now you're going to slowly roll. We start in the upper back. Drop through the chest. Sink chest deep. Slowly lay the upper back. Take your time. Now try and lay the middle back. Now try and lay the lower back. Now try and find your sacrum, pelvis. Go very gently here. This is the risky moment. How far is too far? Too far is when you lose control through the abdominal wall and you start to pop up in your mid-back. Take care. That's actually the hardest part of the exercise. Control it. Draw your 2 sit bones together. Deepen through your abdominals. Roll. Work from the bottom of your spine to the top. Arriving up in the bridge. Feel long. Does it feel like someone sent your pelvis towards your feet? Check in with feet. Check in with hands, arms, and shoulders. Check in with the center, your core, right deep in the pelvis. Start to roll, upper back. Take your time working through the spine from the top to the bottom. Difficult, so give it the time it deserves. And remember this last little bit, this is the challenge. How far is too far? Good, we're going on to chest lift. Listen carefully. On your next exhale breath, slide your sternum towards your pubic bone. Float your head just up off the floor. Stay. 3 deep breaths. So I'm just long and plank-like. I'm now going to bring my hands in behind my head and I'm going to keep working on the length. So be careful you're not looking at your knees right now. You should be looking at your ceiling. Continue to practice your breathing. Feel your feet, feel the ball between your legs. Can you get us longer? Good. Next exhale, we're going to flex. Downward rotation through your rib cage. So physically feel that. Can you get the spine into flexion? But be careful you haven't overflexed head and neck. Feel long. Just breathe. Really use your strong hands and arms and shoulders to support the weight of your head. Keep practicing. Just breathe. Now, slowly articulate back through your upper spine to find your start position. And remember, your start position, you should feel abdominal tension. Check in. Make sure you're not relaxed in the core. Exhale, hover. Practice getting longer. Sense your feet. Flex. Check in. Are you maximally long in your flexed position? Have you got all the joints in the back on the mat from your shoulder blade line down? One more. Articulate home. Feel the rolling through the spine in your upper back to place your head. Let go hands. Take the ball out. Single leg lift. Listen carefully. Keep your left foot on the floor. Kick your right knee just up off the floor. Hold it. Check pelvis. Are you still in the center? So can you feel your weight centrally placed on your sacrum? Feel your left foot pushing down into the floor. Feel your left leg drawing and sucking back into your hip. Feel your hands, arms, shoulders, head, neck, spine. Abdominals getting deeper as you practice your breathing. Right foot comes back down. We get ready, second side. Print. Stabilize the whole body before you pick up the left knee. Pelvis shouldn't rotate. One more breath. We're adding. Same start. Left foot stays on the floor. Pick up the right knee. Just off with the right foot. Now can you slide the left leg forward along the floor until it's fully outstretched, extended from the hip. Careful. Make sure you didn't disturb the piece in the spine. You've still got your hands, arms, and shoulders. Place the right foot down. Bring the left knee back in. The left leg back into the start. Other side. Exhale, prepare and float the left knee just up. Next exhale, send the right leg long. Pause, really connect Press down the right leg into the floor through the calf. Feel the pelvis, the spine, the torso. Left foot places back down. Left leg arrives back home. Next, exhale, float the right leg to tabletop. 90-90. Can you still feel your left foot? Can you still feel your left leg drawing into the hip? Can you feel your right leg drawing into the hip? Maximally long through the spine, 3 weight spots, back of pelvis, sacrum, middle, back of head. Right leg floats down. Exhale, second leg. Right foot, right leg drawing into the hip. Left leg being sucked, drawn, raising up. 2 breaths. Next exhale, leg goes down. Right leg comes up, we're adding. Unfold right leg to the ceiling. Tricky. Can you do that without tucking? Fold right knee back in. Send right leg back home. Left leg. Now careful, think about what you're doing. How far can you go? How far is too far? Maintaining pelvis, spine, shoulders, arms and hands, right foot, right leg. Centered. Good, we're adding. Starts the same. Right leg floats up. Right leg unfolds. Right leg does a tiny circle 1. Circling 2. Feel where you are. Left foot, left leg, centrally placed through your pelvis. 2 more. Reverse it. You explore your breathing. Finishing on the next one. Prepare to lower down. Fold. So even the coming out of the exercise is training. You're getting conditioning. Second side, left leg float. Did you use the right foot, the right leg to stabilize the pelvis? Unfold it. Keep thinking about the right side as you move through the left. 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Control the folding back in. Control the lowering back to the floor. 2 feet, 2 knees together. Arms are just off the mat. Move your knees to the right. Now move your pelvis following the knees. Keep your upper torso on the mat. So I can't go very far. I'm tempting it. And then slowly return back. So we're twisting through the spine right now. Move your knees first, tipping, bringing the right foot with the knee, tipping onto the outside edge of your left foot. Let the pelvis go. Stay nice and strong through your center, through your core. How far is too far? Roll back. So what I'm thinking about as I move the knees is the opposition, the strength I've got to have in my shoulders and upper torso, because actually they remain. So I'm moving away from my upper torso. Last time to the left, knees. Bring the right foot, tip onto the outside edge of your left foot. Keep moving through the knee and pelvis line. Be careful you don't move through the mid to upper back, shoulders, arms, hands, head, neck. Return it. Good. Let's float right leg up. Let's float left leg up. I encourage you to stick your prop in between your knees, keeping you honest. So we want those adductors to be working. We want the feet to be squeezing together. We want the legs to actively suck and draw back into your hips. You should feel your hip flexors. Now check in lower core. Does your lower core feel lifted? Does that send an energy all the way up through your spinal column? Think long. Same exercise. Go knees, go pelvis. Careful. Control upper torso. And return it back to center. Go knees, go pelvis, go legs. Twist. Control your upper torso. And bring it back. One more each side. Careful you haven't lost your squeeze on your prop. Maintain the squeeze on your feet. So that's keeping the adductors active. And then we've talked about a suck and draw. So legs feel strapped into the pelvis, the lower back. Good. Stay. Send your knees away from your body and lightly tap the floor with your toes. Bring it back up. Now be careful. Strong exercise. The back can't arch. So can you connect through the abdominal wall to support your lower back? You will be in a slight imprint. So you will feel the joints of the back on the floor, particularly the lower back. So take care. 2 to go. Last one. Good job. Keep your prop, keep your feet, keep your legs. Come up and meet me in preparation for roll like a ball. So I'm tight, but in my tight flex position, I'm pushing my feet up into my hands, really working through my arms and shoulders to control the legs pushing up. I'm going to lift my booty already, and I'm going to start to rock. Careful, are you still pushing your feet up into your hands? Keep rocking. You'll eventually make it to the top. Check your top position. Are you still imprinted through the pelvis line? Are your feet still actively pushing up into your hands? Pressure on your ball between your legs, feeling your inner thighs. Think imprint, hold the shape, roll back and sit up. Think imprint, roll through your lower back, sit up. Take extra care. Try not to lose the pressure of the legs into your arms. Last one. Good job. Such a tough exercise. Not my favorite, but it's so good. Good for us, I mean. Okay, little spine stretch moment. Grab your tea towel. I've got my wrists holding my tea towel, and my tea towel is taut. Why? Because I think training your arms for seated mat work exercises is one of the hardest things. So good for our upper torso. It helps improve strength in your upper torso and therefore improves your posture, your head, neck positioning. So sitting as tall as you can, feet softly flexed, press your calves down into the floor as much as you can. So my legs are fully extended. Next exhale, tip off the stack. Work from the top of the spine down. Check right now. Where are your shoulders? So careful you haven't got caught up in your shoulder line. Careful your shoulders are spreading. You're using your tea towel to help the spread. Check your elbows. You need to be long and outstretched. Check your legs right now. So the further forward we go, the harder it is. And you've got to really work through your legs. Roll back up. Careful, we've talked about the blowout of abdominals at the top. Can you sit still strapped in and up? Legs sucking and drawing into hips, sitting as tall as you can. 2 to go. Exhale. Roll through the spine. We're going over the top. We're rounding, we're flexing, we're imprinting. We're actively pressing the legs down into the floor. We're slowly stacking back up. Keep your legs working. I know it's a lot of work. Anyone that tells you Pilates is easy, invite them to our class. Exhale. Think about the shape as you move forward. Keep pulling out on your towel. Suck and draw those arms back into your shoulders and widen across your upper torso. Slowly stack back up. Sitting tall, up, 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 up. Check your legs. Rest. Ooh. Okie doke. Come with me. Okay, now I'm going to use the back of my towel along the back of my head to actually train my sitting posture so that my head knows where to be. So I'm going to really gently press into the towel with my head, not too much. I'm going to open and spread my elbows wide, and I'm going to send my shoulder blades to the edges of my ribs. I'm going to sit maximally tall, continue to press the calves down into the floor so the legs feel extended from the hip. I'm now going to twist. So I'm going to slowly turn to my left. Feel the head. Sit up as tall as you can. Feel your abdominals and particularly your waist. How far can you turn? Both feet squeezing together and come back to center. Good. Calves are pressing down. Feet are squeezing together. Sit tall. Feel your wide elbows. The further round you go, keep feeling your wide elbows. Arrive back, one more each side. Take your time. Keep using your towel, consciously training your upper torso. Last one. Check legs. Both calves pressing down into the floor, both legs maximally long. Toning up those inner thighs, strengthening your hip flexors. Supporting your back. Postural control. Drop it out. Good. Meet me on your tummy. Now, because I know I've got very lazy inside thighs, I'm actually going to take either that with me or my cushion. Your choice. Okay, hand placement. So I'm going to bring the middle finger together. I'm going to open and spread my palm of my hand out. And you might hear me talk about that as a jazz hand. So you're going to actively take the floor with your open flat palm jazz hand. You've got your little tool between your legs. So right now your knees are working, your legs are working. Your knees are off the floor. Check in with pelvis. Can you feel it on the ground? Check in with the spine. Can you get us maximally long? Drop between your shoulder blades and gently pick up your head and your chest. Try to use your jazz hand as though you're pulling your mat sideways. You should feel a little exercise through your middle upper back. That's where you want to feel it. Stay here. Check in on pelvis, check in on legs. Check in with the prop between your legs. Now think forward. Lay the chest. Keep pulling the mat apart with your jazz hands. Land the head. One more. Think forward. Good. Now prepare. We're about to take the hands off. Are you ready in the core? Lift the hands and take them around behind you. Now just work on your back. Press your feet down into the floor. Gently squeeze the prop between your legs. Try not to grip. How long can you make your legs feel? Pushing down into the tops of your feet. Make sure your pelvis is still landed. Now check in with the lower core. Can you draw it up? Now check in with your shoulders. Can you pick up the front head of the shoulder, lift it away from the mat, slide your shoulder blades out to the edges of your trunk and now maximally stretch your arms. Keep breathing. Be careful you haven't dumped into lower back. Get longer. Sink forward. Keep listening. Raise your right leg off the floor. Keep your prop. Both legs actively long. Careful you haven't dumped into lower back. Right leg back down. Take the floor with that right foot. Raise your left. Think maximally long. Check in with shoulders. Check in with your abdominals. One more each side. Right leg. Long limbs. Really stretched. Out through your tippy toes and your fingers. How do you do that without gripping? Right leg down, left leg up. Use the breath to calm. Use the breath to center. Listen carefully. 2 legs. Stay very strong. Careful you didn't arch in your lower back. Place them back. 2 legs. Careful. If you can feel yourself arching your lower back, just breathe and think about what we're doing, because you might need a little more time to get stronger in your core. Good. Sit back into child pose. Have a little moment with me. Alrighty, we're on our side. Doesn't matter which side you lie down on, because we're going to do both. I'm going to head towards the back of my mat just for feedback. So when I think headed towards the back of my mat, it just consciously makes me think about lining up my spine and my torso, my head in relationship to my pelvis. Bring your feet ever so slightly ahead. Hand on the floor, 2 straight legs. Can you raise your top leg up? Just stay. Imagine someone's got hold of your foot and they're actually trying to give you a little bit of traction. Feel the space. Feel the support. Abdominals are working. Spine is stable but long. Pelvis line, shoulder line. You're stacked. Reach it as it lowers back down. Float it up. If you can, like me, try to take that front hand off the floor. Be conscious when you do that you haven't tipped, rocked forward or back. Sweep the top arm over your head. Stay. Good. Now bring the top hand down. We're going to float the bottom leg up. Bottom leg up. 2 to go. Bottom leg up. 1 more time. Bottom leg up. Stay. Try to balance. If you can, come onto the fingertips. Think stable pelvis, lower back. Lower down and rest. Good job. Second side. Nearly there. Setting up towards the back of the mat. Lining up. So thinking about the alignment of the spine. Legs ever so slightly forward. Already think maximally long as you raise this leg up. This leg is pressing down in the maximally long state. So you feel the energy through the legs, lining up the pelvis, the long, stable spine. 2 more. Raise the leg. If you can, hand off, raise the leg. Stay. Top hand down. Prepare. Stable and strong pelvis, lower back, bottom leg up. Touch down. Bottom leg up. Touch down. Last time, bottom leg up. Just stay. If you can, come onto the fingertips. Can you get any longer in your legs, extending out through your hips? Just stay. and rest it. Great work. Meet me on quadruped. So on all fours. Hands underneath your pelvis line, shoulder width apart. Sorry, hands underneath your armpit, shoulder width apart. Knees underneath your pelvis, hip width apart. Setting up the spine, think long. Careful the abdominal wall hasn't fallen out. Similarly with your chest, sternum. Now find your jazz hand. As strongly as you can, press the knuckles of the hands into the floor. Breathe. Inhale, count to 5. Exhale, count to 5. Keep pressing through your hands. Strong through your shoulders and arms. Try to lift your weight out of your wrist. Last one. Good. Keep working through your hands and arms. Imprint through your pelvis. Roll through your spine and move into your cat position. And just stay. Keep lifting your weight out of your wrists. Heavy head. Rounding the back. Keep your jazz hand. Slowly snake it back. Working from the bottom of your spine to the top. Articulating back into neutral, past neutral, into extension. Tricky moment. How do you not push out through your abdominal wall? Return us back. We have one more. Lift your weight out of the wrist. Actively press the hand down into the floor. Wide through your shoulders. Long through your back of your neck. Imprinting through your pelvis. Deepening through your abdominals. Articulating home. Start at the bottom of the spine. Start in your tail. Work through the back, finding your way to neutral, home base, and then going a little beyond that by lifting your heart, your head, your chest. Keep checking, lift your weight out of your wrists, but press your palms down. Good, come off the wrist for just a second. We're going to finish with some arm presses. Nearly there. Back in the position. Bring your hands just a fraction ahead of your armpits. Listen carefully. You're going to wrap your elbows in line with the heel of your hands. Lightly touch. Push back up. Stick out the hand. Press the knuckles of the hand. Spread the hand. Wrap those elbows in. Push back up. Now, check out what's happening in spine and abdominals. Careful you don't let the abdominals fall. Keep strapped in and push back up. 2 more. Take your time pushing back up from the hand. Last one. And push back up. Good. You're going to walk your hands back. You're going to tuck your feet and just sit with me. Try to get your big toes together. Try to spread your toes apart and drop your head. Good. Now little jump. Spread your feet apart, hip width apart, and prepare to stand. Dropping your weight, raising your pelvis, hanging. Slowly roll back up, fix the imprint. Spread your toes, take the floor as you roll. Arriving in your standing position. And as soon as you feel ready, close your eyes with me. Just stay. Have a little moment, centering the body, feeling the position, pelvis placed in the middle of the feet, base stance, even weight, big toe, little toe, center of the heel. So how far is too far forward? How far is too far back? Where's the middle? Where's the center? Looking up through the column of the spine, rising up energy through your abdominal and front wall, sending the energy down through the back, past your coccyx tail, through the back of the legs into your heels. Gently open your eyes. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining me.